the pocket full of quarters, so to speak. Looking at the thread, and that's a story that we also reported. Let's start by something cool. That is something that you write. The SEC issued a no action letter for a pocket full of quarters in-game currency. And that, of course, is, it's the one thing that made me think maybe all we need is basically children. Break it down for the viewers in the sphere that is.
Yeah. So I mean, Marco, if you look down in his thread a couple ways, he goes through exactly what happened, and then the way that he summarizes it is the SEC just okayed arcade tokens, basically. Yes. So pocket full of quarters, it's an in-game currency. It's basically meant to be kind of like a point system that has some real value. However, you can't take it outside the game. There's no secondary market access. So it's basically, there's real limitations on what you can do with it. It's when it comes out, it won't be for sale before you can actually use it, so on and so forth, right? So it basically what the SEC said is like, yeah, this is fine. And Marco, who's one of the kind of faithful crypto Twitter legal core, broke it down. And the interesting thing is that kind of part one of his thread effectively says just how incremental this is. Part two of his thread kind of makes the point that, this is for regulators, this actually shows a pretty meaningful trajectory of update, right? It's significantly, or at least it's a meaningful step farther than the last no action letter that the SEC sent a couple months ago. And kind of his point was that it's, we're in this tough situation where regulators are moving faster than they're comfortable with. Companies are trying desperately to be compliant, but it's so incremental compared to the state of innovation that it leaves the whole industry in this conundrum and kind of incentivizes you to play fast and loose. So it's an interesting testament to kind of just where regulatory action is right now.
Where it is that they understand they cannot ignore.